Hey YouTube, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today's video is going to be an ultimate beginner's guide to locating and defeating Killa. We'll be covering spawns, pathings, 5 loadouts with budget options, as well as strategies and tips to allow you to start to bully Killa. So whether you're looking to farm Killa's gear, get the tracksuit by killing him 100 times, or just want that first kill for the Huntsman Sell Out quest, this video will have you covered. If you do go on to find this video helpful, then a like is much appreciated and consider subscribing for daily educational Tarkov content. Let's first break down what makes Killa such a difficult boss and what rewards we get for his elimination. Here is a comparison of his health pool compared to a normal scav. As you will see, he has over double the total health at 880, with importantly 2 times the head health at 70 and nearly 2.5 times the thorax health at 210. When we add this to his level 5 armour covering the thorax and stomach, and his level 4 helmet with a level 6 visor, we start to see that we either need 1 to 2 well placed headshots or multiple thorax shots to take him down. His level 6 visor will stop nearly all ammo in the game, and to get a consistent 1-shot headshot we will need a good 40 plus pen ammo with 70 plus damage. If we decide to aim for the thorax, we need high 40s penetration to consistently break through the level 5 armour, but even then it will take quite a few bullets to deplete the 210 thorax health pool. Next, let's take a look at his gear and loot that we get rewarded with. His main weapon is usually his 545x39 RPK, which usually has a 95 round magazine and multiple 60 round magazines in the vest. These are often filled with BS or 7N39 ammo, which are hard hitting but therefore very valuable. He can also have a suppressed PP1901 submachine gun with AP 6.3 or Luger CCI ammo, or an AKMS 762x39 with T45M ammo, both of which are much less dangerous but also much less valuable as loot. Instead of 4 slots in his pockets, he has 10, and these should always be searched first as he can carry any key in the game and often has key cards. The rest is usually filled with grenades, meds and a nice can of cola to celebrate with on your extraction home. On average, the value of loot and gear from Killa over 10 runs was 900k per kill. Killa spawns in and around the centre section of the mall on the first floor. Although he can be found in a number of stores along this strip marked in red, it is much more common to find him in and around the Brutal store and alongside the Kiba store marked in green. He can sometimes be found wandering, especially if he's previously been activated by another player, but he prefers to be crouched hidden in the shadows. This can make him very hard to spot from any distance, but can also work to our advantage with good careful approach play. When he is triggered, he is hyper aggressive. Unlike other bosses, he has no minions, so won't run off and hide. Instead, instantly he'll start throwing down heavy fire before heading straight for you. Often he will just sprint at your location and literally hunt you down, using prone and power slide moves to make him harder to hit when stopping. He is not afraid to chase you halfway across the mall if still locked on, and will even go up the escalators to the 2nd floor. He will also try and flush you out with grenades, so listen out carefully for them when he stops. By far the easiest way to kill him is right at the start of a raid, before he is activated by players. With the correct approach, it is possible to see and kill him before he really has a chance to react. For this, there are 2 pathways I would recommend. Based on his most common spawn locations, these 2 routes give you the best chance to sneak up on him. The first one is straight through the main entrance to the mall. You can check the less common stores first on your way and then enter Brutal carefully, hoping to find him crouched inside or just outside. The other is from the hole in the floor, which has the ramp up from the underground car park. Again, this allows a careful check of a number of common spawn locations between Addict, Kiba and Brutal before working through the less common locations. Of course, there are a number of ways to get to these 2 locations depending where you spawn. So here is a map with a pathing overlay with the optimal routes. In essence, any spawn towards the front of the map should look to approach from the main entrance. Any towards the back behind Goshen or sides should aim for the hole in the floor ramp. If you aren't lucky enough to catch him unawares, then life is made considerably harder. The important strategy here is to take the fight on your terms by drawing him into you. This often means running away using cover to a corner that he has to come around to fight you. If you pick a corner with multiple ways around it, he might just come the other way, in which case you are likely dead. Pre-aim the corner and wait. If he gets the first shot off, again you are likely dead. However, if you hit a solid mid-torso shot before he fires, his aim will be unstable and you should be able to spray him down before he manages to get shots on target. It's important not to panic here. When you do take the shot, just keep shooting until he is dead. If you have baited him in, then you should be close to mid-range, so often repositioning from here just gets you shot in the back. Remember, the more upper body shots you hit, the more you will miss, so stay calm. When it comes to guns and loadouts, of course meta weapons with top tier ammo and level 6 armor will help get the job done, but for less experienced players this is not reasonable, so here are 5 budget loadout recommendations for you. I've put them in order of worst to best in terms of effectiveness. 7.62x54 SMB ammo can one-shot killer to the head with 62 pen and 75 damage. This setup works perfectly when you can spot him from a distance without him noticing you. For this I go for the SV98 bolt action rifle as it is cheaper than the Mosin and you can add a cheap sight straight onto it. I would usually take this in naked due to the situational success, as if he is hiding in a store or spots you and rushes you, then you are often dead. This really is a super cheap way to get a kill at less than 50k cost. Even though it took me 10 attempts to get the 2 kills, this might suit those not wanting to risk too much. For the other 4 loadouts, I'd run the 6B3TM level 4 armor, as it is cheap, can give a little protection, and can be dumped when swapping to killer's armor. Also a cheap headset and helmet in case you run into other players. Leg meta is another possible approach, using a fast firing SMG, high flesh damage ammo and aiming purely for the legs. I go for an MP5 here, as it is cheap and with a couple of mods can get the recoil to 37, so it's very accurate. I would recommend using a 50 round drum mag, as it is likely to take 10 to 15 bullets to get the kill, and if you miss half, you don't want to be running out. Rip ammo is the best for this, but for a budget approach I would load 30 Quake Maker in and 20 Rip top loaded. This method took me 6 attempts to get the 2 kills, so a 33% success rate. The sheer amount of bullets needing to hit seems to give killer more of a chance to get shots off. I do find aiming at the legs kind of unintuitive and inconsistent, but it certainly can work. Just remember to also aim for the legs if you run into any PMCs. M61 is probably the best overall ammo in the game and can be run quite cheaply with a semi-auto rifle like a Hunter, RFB or an M1A. These have 700 RPM fire rates and only take 2 to 3 4x hits to get the kill, and if you aim centre chest and hit a headshot then he will fall even quicker. They are decent and powerful at short range, and if you spot him from a distance can take him out with a single headshot. I like my recoil on these semi-auto rifles to be down below 130, so prefer the RFB or M1A with a few mods over the Hunter. I tried both and got 2 kills each time in 3 attempts, so a 66% success rate. My number 1 and 2 recommendations both had a 100% success rate. At number 2 are standard full auto assault rifles available early in the game and probably the go-to option to most newer players. I used both the 7.62x39 AKM and also the 5.45x39 AK74N. Of course, guns like M4s, Vals, etc. would all work here, but these are much more cost-effective options. For both, we added a couple of mods to get the recoil down a bit. The important part to these are top loading the mag. So for the AKM we use 20 PS ammo with 10 BP ammo on top. For the AK74 we use BT ammo, but this time with 10 BS ammo top loaded. The full auto option gave us a little more margin for error over the semi-autos, and obviously great for the rest of your raid for the times when say killer has not spawned. As mentioned, they both got 2 kills out of 2 attempts. Finally for me, best weapon to kill killer is the 7.62x51 DTMDR with M61 rounds. I added a couple of mods and the full auto option with M61 ammo is just too powerful even for killer. The time to kill is super fast and you can even top load with 10 M61 with say M80 filling the rest if you want. Just 2 to 3 bullets from the M61 to the chest will take killer out. The only downside to this gun is that it's more expensive than the AKs and the recoil is a bit harder to control. Overall, all 5 of these options can get the job done depending on your budget and playstyle. Finally, a few tips to finish off. Always loot the pockets first. You can be looting the armour etc. while the pocket search is going on, and the pockets potentially have the most valuable loot. When you kill Killa, don't hang around. Grab the loot and head out via Goshen. Run straight through Goshen and you have the no backpack exit out the back. You can either take the hidden stairs down and around, or a quick bit of parkour will get you out the fastest. If you want to take the safer approach and are using say SMB or M91 ammo, then there is a couple of nice spots you may be able to get a headshot off before Killa sees you. The first is up on the boxes behind the hole in the floor. The second is up on the second floor overlooking his main spawn area. If you want to try and rush Killa from spawn and to get there first, then an SJ6 stim will boost your stamina to allow you to keep running for most of the distance. And finally, remember to celebrate a well-earned victory with that tasty Tarcola whilst you're extracting. Cheers! Don't forget to give the video a like if you found it helpful, and let me know in the comments what advice helped you the most. If you have any further questions or need any help, then let me know in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching, and until next time, good luck in Tarkov and take care.